my name is Zarnigor and I'm really happy to be here with you today. And I think that most of people always try to set goals. They always try to learn new languages, and also they always try to learn how to dance, how to speak, or how to sing. And sometimes they always try to lose their weight. But what happens at the end? They all, and the majority of people stop what they want to do and what they want to get. And what happens at the end is that they always lose their interest even in life, and they stop dreaming of everything. And I think recently I have participated in a speaking club. I think you know this kind of clubs, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and after that I was asked an interesting question. Why do we set goals? And actually, what do you think? Why do we set goals?
To achieve something.
Yeah, but for me it was an interesting and unexpected question because I never thought about it. Even though I always try to make plans for the next day, week, month, and even for the next 5 years. And not only I, but each one of us sets goals. And we always try and dream of a better job, of travel, of love, and of knowledge. But what pushes us to reach these goals? Sometimes goals are presented to us something like rigid restrictions. For example, achieve this and get that. And at the end, remember how we plan our summer. I'm going to swim in the sea, I'm going to eat ice cream, I'm going to visit all historical places in Uzbekistan. But summer would fly by. We would end up spending all our time with our dishes, cleaning and washing. And I think girls know this better. And sometimes I think we dream, we paint an ideal picture of our dreams. But finally we forget about unexpected difficulties and roads along the way. It creates an illusion that we must be perfectly successful to be happy. But what happens if we don't reach these goals? Personally, I sometimes suffer with this problem, and recently I had an important and essential exam. But unfortunately, I failed and I couldn't pass that exam. And at that time, everything was bad, everything was terrible, everything was boring, and I think all my close relatives and friends seemed like enemies. But then my father said, what if goals are not restrictions, but rather springboards? Now I'll explain. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a mountain. Scary, right? But if you set a goal to jump over it, it'll give you motivation and it'll show you where to move. So then I realized that goals are not always getting something. It's always becoming someone. And also I remember when I was a freshman, there were a lot of competitions and contests in my institute. But my fears and high set goals stopped me and prevented me from participating. But then there was a knowledge competition called TEDxASIFL. And first of all, I was terribly afraid because there were more experienced teams. But I said, why not to try? So I organized a team with my group mates when we were freshmen. But unfortunately, in our first competition, we failed. And some of members of our group lose their interest and they stopped, they give up. But then I set 2 goals. First of all, I wanted to be more confident in myself, and the second goal was to win in that competition. After some time, I was asked to join a new team called Genius. And we became more confident and we overcome different kinds of challenges, we organized different kinds of discussions, and I understood that competition brought me together with like-minded people, and it helped me to become more flexible and more open. And what is more important is that I reached the goals which I set. I became more confident in myself and actually we won in that competition. And the aim of my today's speech is to remind all of you that goals are not limitations, they are motivation, a tool for growth and a guide to a new you. And I want to say that never afraid of setting goals, and also remember that it's important to remember that every new step is a step towards a better you. So that's all for today. Thank you for your attention.